Good evening everybody, and once again welcome to the project demo video. In this demo video I want to essentially show you how you can leverage incremental data processing with change data capture in Apache Hudi transactional data lake to power your downstream system. Your downstream system could be literally anything, could be a relational database such as Aurora Postgres or MySQL, could be a non-relational database such as DynamoDB or MongoDB, or even you can power your search application. By doing this, you are essentially maintaining the historical data on your transactional data lake on S3, which means you are saving a lot of money on the storage cost as said. And then you're only bringing 6 months or one year of operational data into your downstream system. And basically you can leverage incremental data processing with RFC51, that is change data capture. So let me show you all that in action. Hopefully this will make sense. So again, this is the demo video that I'm about to show you. So we're gonna get the data from our transaction data lake. Any insert, update, delete happens, we're gonna capture that. We're gonna bring that into our Aurora Postgres landing table. And from landing, we're gonna use our stored procedure to dedupe the data and move it into the stage area. Once the data is moved into the stage, we're gonna delete the data from the landing. Let's see that in action. So again, I have a deep dive video, so if needed, please go and watch that. This is just showing you a big picture over here. So here, again, I'm creating a transaction data lake. I'm creating on my computer, but again, you can create that on S3 as well. So let me run this cell. So I'm inserting 2 documents on my Apache Hudi transaction data lake, that is record number 1 and record number 2. Then I have a template which basically will perform incremental queries and load it into Aurora landing tables, which I'm about to show you shortly. As you can see, record number 1 and 2 has been inserted. Now I have a template over here which I'm about to run. Just want to show you that I don't have anything in my landing table. No data here. So now what I'm about to do is I'm going to run the template over here, the Python template that I have written. It's about 300 lines of code. This template, what it does is basically it's going to figure out the begin time. It's going to perform an incremental query and then going to get the data. Once it gets the data, it stores the last commit on S3. So next time when you run the job, it can perform incremental query from that point onwards. So the template is running at this point. Now again, I have inserted 2 records into Apache Hudi transactional data lake. So these are inserts. So I should be able to see those inserts coming in. And sure enough, as you can see, OP_II stands for insert. So I have made 2 inserts, that is document 1 and document 2. Now let's go to our Aurora Postgres and see if we got those documents over here. And sure enough, I got those documents over here. As you can see, record number 1 and record number 2. And the operation type is insert. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna simulate late arriving update. So I'm gonna update record number 1 and I'm gonna insert a new document. Okay, ready? So I am running the cell, as you can see. Now again, record number 1 is updated. Okay, so I'm gonna run the code. Now when I run my template on S3, the metadata is saved, which means the template is going to resume from the last point where it started. So again, now record number 1 and 3 has been inserted. So I just want to show you the metadata file, right? So if I download that quickly, just to show you, if I do show in Explorer, if I do Notepad++, so here you can see the last commit is saved on S3. So the template will essentially load the metadata and it knows from where to perform the incremental queries. All right, back to the template. I'm going to run the template. So now I anticipate 2 records, record number 3 and record number 1, which was an update. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Okay, ready? All right, the template has been started, which means it's going to load the metadata from S3 and it's going to perform an incremental query and it's going to get the insert and updates and then perform again, it's going to append that into the landing area into Aurora. So here you can see it did load the metadata from S3, right? Now we should, it's going to perform that incremental query on Hudi. And what I am anticipating over here is basically, look at this, U stands for update. And then 3 is I. So basically record number 3 was an insert, record number 1 was an update. Now let's go to our Aurora landing and then see everything in action. So I'm gonna query my landing table over here, right? So observe carefully here, right? Record number 1, this was an insert at this particular time. And now record number 1 was updated at this particular time, as you can see. Now, what we are going to do in the architecture is, if you observe, we have the data in the landing area. Now, using stored procedure, we're going to dedupe the data and move it into the cleanse zone, that is the stage area. So now I'm going to show you that process. So I'm going to call landing.sample dedupe. So I'm going to call that. And now I'm again going to query the landing. Right, so observe, look at that, that old record is gone. So the stored procedure basically has deduped my data in the landing. Now just want to show the stage. I don't have anything in the stage area, so I'm just gonna run this. Nothing is there, right? So I'm gonna run my CTE query. So this is essentially gonna insert the data from landing into the stage. Query has been successful. Now if I query my stage area, look at that, data is there, right? Now I'm gonna truncate my landing because I have inserted the data into the stage. I'm showing you the big picture, right? I'm showing you the overall process here, right? So I'm gonna truncate my sample or the landing area. Again, now the landing is empty. Now in the stage, I have record number 1, 2, and 3. Now let's do this again, man. Now what I'm about to do is essentially I'm gonna insert 2 more records, 4 and 5, and then I'm gonna run my template. Now this is me inserting data into the transaction data lake. This could come into the data lake through stream ingestion, batch processing. It could be literally anything. Once this is complete, I'm gonna again run my template. So now the template will resume from this particular commit since it's stored on S3. All right, we're gonna resume the process. So I'm gonna run the template. So the template will load the metadata file from S3 and it's gonna perform an incremental query, and I should get 2 more insert, that is 4 and 5. Let's see that in action. Ready? Again, we are following this process, right? From transaction data lake into Aurora landing into, and then all the way into the stage area. So now I would see record number 4 and 5 coming into the landing area, right? So I'm just gonna show you that process. And observe this, look at that. Record number 4 and 5. Now let's do the same process. I am in the landing area. I have, let me actually pull this up. Record number 4 and 5, okay? We call the dedupe stored procedure, right? Then we execute the CTE. So we're gonna move the data from landing into the stage area. And then basically we are, again, when I move the data from landing into stage, I'm performing upsert on the stage, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna truncate my, before I truncate, I wanna show you the stage. Look at that, 4 and 5, right? And now I'll truncate my landing area. So there you go. So landing done. So what we have just done is basically we have built this complete pipeline, which means data basically will come into transaction data lake using incremental processing and CDC. We are capturing insert updates and deletes happening on transaction data lake. We are bringing them into a landing area. From there, the stored procedures will dedupe the data and then move into the stage table, that is a cleansed area, and it will delete the data from the landing. This way, your history, 10 years, 20 years of data could lie on your transaction data lake on S3. You will save a lot of money, and your operational data, 6 months or 1 year, whatever that is, you can bring into your downstream Aurora, right? So that way you're not loading 10 or 5 years of data into Aurora, you're only loading operational data, and for analytical workloads, you're gonna use Redshift Spectrum to directly query your petabyte scale transactional data lake. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the demo, and the complete deep dive video is also there on my YouTube. And if you want the code, it's also there on my GitHub section. With that being said, I hope you have enjoyed the project demo and you see the big picture, how you can leverage incremental data processing with RFC51, that is change data capture, in Apache Hudi to power your downstream application. Let me know your thoughts and feedback in the comment section below. Until then, keep smiling, keep programming. See you in the next video.